The Murray is the longest river in Australia. It snakes its way from the Great Dividing Range to the Great Australian Bight in South Australia. It's here at the junction of the Ovens and Murray rivers that we find ourselves for today's adventure. So come along for the ride while we get battered by winds,
super windy here at the moment,
ski boats and much more on an all new adventure with all things outdoors.
G'day folks, welcome to a spur of the moment, all things outdoors boat camping trip. Now I'm down at the Bundalong junction of the Ovens and Murray River again, this time in the boat again, and this was a very much a spur of the moment plan to come down here, do some fishing out of the boat and do some camping. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I ran into a bit of an issue with the water ski boats coming upstream up the Ovens. So every time a ski boat came past, I'd have to idle down and turn into the wake so I was hitting it at a perpendicular angle. Otherwise, if I'd copped the side on, I could have flipped the boat. So what I've done is I've idled up into one of the little lagoons that stretches off the Ovens to try and sort of get away from them and hopefully get onto some fish up in the quieter water. At the moment I'm about in 1.5 meters of water. There goes one of the perpetrators now. So I'm in about 1.5 meters of water. Hopefully it doesn't get any shallower than that. And what I'm going to try to do is find a camp spot along one of these lagoons here, which should hopefully have quieter water and more of a chance to catch some fish, and hopefully a place to find a quiet spot to camp. I've got a bit of an idea. I found this spot which I reckon is going to be a pretty good campsite. It's nice and clear and open, good water access down there, nice sort of gentle beach to get in and out of the boat. What I'm thinking about doing is stashing my gear here somewhere so that I'm a lot lighter and I can cover more ground, and then I'm going to go and fish up and down here and then come back and camp here, because I think it'll be a pretty good site. Be able to have a fire down here, hopefully the wind dies down. We'll just have a nice little fire. And it's nice and open around here, so I think we're going to do that. might have seen me go for a run just then, the boat started to float away. Rule 101 when boat fishing, tie your boat up. What a clown. Alrighty, now we're a hell of a lot lighter, we can cover some ground. I've got a bit of a dilemma at the moment. As you can probably tell, it's super windy here at the moment, and there are a lot of trees around this campsite here with a lot of widowmakers hanging out of them and snags and loose branches and that sort of thing. So if I take a chance and stay here and the wind calms down, well, that's all right. But if I stay here and it gets dark and the wind doesn't calm down, run the risk of having a branch or something fall on me in the middle of the night, which would be absolutely devastating, of course. But I've got a bit of sunlight left, so a bit of an update since I last spoke to you. I was talking about the wind and the possibility of falling branches and that on the camp while I'm camped overnight with this wind. Check Google Maps, and literally 100 metres away, which is up this little anna branch of the river or a lagoon or whatever it is, there's a nice little clearing over there that's right on the water's edge, and it's a bit more sheltered from the wind as well. But the good thing is it's well away from trees, and there's a nice flat spot there next to the water. So I think I'm going to move over there just to be safe.
Perfect.
Right, time for a bit of a tour of the campsite. So because it's quite warm still, I've opted to bring the full mosquito net tent along so I can get some good airflow through there, just coupled with a nice big 3x3 tarp there, which makes a really nice little awning there. There are thunderstorms about at the moment, but they all seem to be about the ranges, and we're out here in the flatlands, so with any luck we shouldn't get any thunderstorms tonight, but I'll be keeping an eye on the radar just in case. We need to batten down the hatches. So, because I'm in the boat this time, I've been able to bring along the esky, and I've actually brought a camping box. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to put everything in together into one nice container where it's easier to get things in and out of. I know I don't have as much of a risk of tipping over as what I do in a canoe or a kayak, so I've opted to bring along, yes I know it's not waterproof, but the risk is fairly low, so I've decided to bring the box along because it's easy to get things in and out of, and it packs a hell of a lot more than what dry bags do. This is the new esky or cooler that I got for Christmas. It's one of those polycarbonate coolers, so the actual insulation is filled with insulative material. It's not just an air gap, so these ones are a hell of a lot more efficient than your regular old eskies that we all grew up with. So this one's a 43 litre version, and it's a Dometic. Dometic make those really good 12 volt fridges, and so you would think that they'd be quite good at making coolers. Opens up nice and easy, and heaps of room to bring everything along. You can actually get these little dividers too, to put a divider in them if you wanted to keep things sort of dry so they don't get wet with the ice. And it's nice and light too, so really happy to have a really good esky. Now, just like my last canoe camping trip, I've brought along the little burner stove as well, so we can cook up our meat relatively quickly and easily on that, which I'll do for dinner tonight. So for dinner tonight I'm doing pork steaks and a nice little Caesar salad on the side, coupled with a beer or two. So obviously, again, another luxury of coming out in the boat. You can bring more stuff, you can bring more luxuries, so should hopefully be really comfortable tonight. So it's actually turned out to be a not too bad a night so far. The wind is still around, but where I am here I'm relatively sheltered from it, so that's a bonus. I've been constantly checking the weather forecast though on the Bureau of Meteorology app, and the risk of thunderstorms kind of drops off tonight, but from about 5 AM in the morning it starts to ramp up again to quite a high chance of thunderstorms sort of late into the morning, or mid to late into the morning, so I'll probably have to make a decision when I wake up as to whether I can do a bit of fishing in the morning or whether I've just got to get going, because can't imagine it'd be too pleasant with thunder and lightning around while you're trying to drive a boat on the water. So hopefully it's a pleasant night's sleep, and wake up in the morning and there's not too many issues with the weather. One vital piece of equipment that I forgot to bring was a plate. So I may very well be eating this steak straight off the pan here. And another even more important thing that I forgot to bring was toilet paper. So if I get the call to arms first thing in the morning, it's going to be an interesting. I did bring a shovel though. Bought a shovel, didn't bring toilet paper. Go figure. Look out, I do have a plate. The steak's actually bigger than it, so. Well, here's my tiny little plate with my steak on it, and I'm using the cooker box as a lap tray while I'm sitting here.
watching the telly, in this case the bush. It's just nice to sort of being back in the bush and being back in your own thoughts and sort of getting back to nature. Especially after the last 6 weeks for me, like the last 6 weeks were an absolute blur. After coming back from Christmas leave, we've just been absolutely flat out at work with the fires and everything like that. So coming here and do this is a good way to sort of reset, especially before the onslaught of child number 2 arriving in late March. Well, it's about 9:30 and the fishing was a bit of a bust today. I did just before, just as I was about to pull the rod out of the water, I heard the bell go off. Went to check the rod and the bait's gone, so I don't think I'm going to leave a rod in overnight, so I think I'm going to call it quits. Yeah, I will see you guys in the morning. All in all, well, that was a bit of a rough night. I had problems with kangaroos crashing through the bush here all night. At one point there was one that even crossed through the creek here and made a hell of a racket, splashing into the water and then crashing out the other side. So it seemed like I was waking up every half hour, 40 minutes or so to something like that happening. And then not long ago, just as I was getting up out of bed, I got bitten on the shoulder blade by a bull ant, so that stung a bit. So not the greatest of nights camped out in the bush, but camping's camping. Beats going to work, that's for sure. So I've gotten up this morning to have a bit of a fish around here, but not much luck there either, so probably going to have a cup of coffee, have something to eat, and then get the camp packed up and get ready to head towards the boat ramp.